So what we do here is we just remind ourselves that we have to be the antithesis of complacency. Okay, we have to get out there, make it happen, and be more aggressive than we ever have before. So then here's the question. How do we be more aggressive and what can we do?
We are over 1 month into the new year of 2025, and I couldn't think of a better person to join me for this 10-minute talk to talk about not only his rich history in mortgage and growing market share in the past, but also talk about how he's conquering what the unique characteristics are of a year like 2025. As we're seeing so far, it's not a wildly different year. So he can help share for our audience why and how do you tap into what's still out there. So I'm Brena Nath with Housing Wire, and I'm excited to have with me Matt Weaver. He's a mortgage originator at Cross Country Mortgage. He's ranked the #1 mortgage originator in the nation for the most closed loans in 2023. He also has the most purchase transactions in 2022. And then on top of all of that, as he'll probably dive into, he's based in Florida. So he's remained the #1 in that state, which we all know is a giant state from 2020 to 2024. We're actively in 2025. So with that, Matt, welcome to 10-Minute Talks.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity, and hello, everyone. I hope I can add value just a little bit to your origination business here today. So thank you.
Now, as I mentioned, 2025, while it's a new chapter of a year, it's really not shaping up to be wildly different than what people have experienced in the past. So that doesn't mean that there's not new things to consider, new risks, new opportunities that loan originators, loan officers should be looking for. So what would you call out for these people as they're looking to still grow their business this year?
Oh, without a doubt. What I wrote down here was the biggest risk loan officers have today is complacency. Okay. We cannot remain complacent. We can't sit still, hope, wait, wonder, wait to see what happens. None of that. We have to be more aggressive today than ever before. No question about it. I mean, it's an interesting side of the business today. I think we can all agree the last 2 or 3 years have been very interesting. So what we do here is we just remind ourselves that we have to be the antithesis of complacency. Okay, we have to get out there, make it happen, and be more aggressive than we ever have before. So then here's the question. How do we be more aggressive and what can we do? So I wrote down here, truly understanding your customer. If the agent is your customer, then what we have to always think about is what are their pain points? Every customer that we serve in any business that we serve, there's a pain point. So when we understand what their pain point is, we can figure out how to serve them to the highest level, which in turn will hopefully get us more business. So as an example, many markets are still in a multiple offer environment, multiple offer situation. So how are you helping the agent succeed in that scenario? How are you helping them and the buyer win in a multiple offer? Do you have a step-by-step offer process? What are your timelines? Are they faster than the competitor that's competing at the same home or on the same home? That's one example. Watch, many of our markets, Florida, okay, are in a buyer's market. Okay, so in a buyer's market, what we have in front of us is there are simply more sellers than there are buyers. So I'm working very closely with our agents on how we can help them negotiate to get better price and better terms on the homes for their buyers. See, we flipped that around because we're now in a buyer's market, but still, you got to have the right offer process. Watch this one. Interest rates still are a big objection amongst home buyers. And so agents are on the front lines. They have to deal with, of course, the buyer objecting to interest rates. So are we helping them on how to handle that objection? So here at the Matt Weaver team, we give our agents scripts. Okay, remember, it's our belief system that an agent's negotiating skills, okay, can determine and help determine the home buyer's interest rate. Because when we think about it, originators, who can pay realistically for a temporary rate buy down? It's primarily the seller. So it's an agent's negotiating skills that can help the seller get credits, or I should say get credits from the sellers, so they can in turn buy down their interest rate. That's where we step into play. So it's stuff like that. When we understand who our customers and we think about their pain and what they're dealing with, we can deliver solutions to the pain. So the risk in the question would be complacency. We got to stay away from it. The opportunity is really diving into who our customer is, their pain point, and how we can deliver a solution to them.
You laid that out so well. And the theme that I see in a lot of that really points back to not only does the Matt Weaver team clearly help people, but you also are clearly kind of stating what your guys' value proposition is in all of it. That
Yes.
feeds into, and you kind of touched on this already, so I don't know if there's more to add, but then what are the specific strategies? Like, you give the agent scripts. You're also helping understand and listen. Listen is a very important word that I heard that you just said. So are there any other specific strategies that you would call out on how LOs are gaining market share?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We are in a contact sport like never before.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, we have to make contact, ideally face to face contact. Listen, I know social media is out there and I know it's like the hottest craze, but the truth of the matter is that we look at it as a necessary evil. It is not a scenario where we're actually getting business from. You got to participate in it, but that's not where we ever come close to resting on. So we are big believers in contact. And what do I mean by that? Okay. So if we think about it face to face, are we having meetings? Are we having lunches? Are we having coffees with our customer, which is the agent? Here at the Matt Weaver team, I do about 120 to 130 seminars a year. Okay. My seminars are riddled with value that helps the agent sell more real estate. It is not about loan product or what FHA's loan limit is. That doesn't do anything for the agent. That's our internal process. What we can do is we can help them succeed by giving them a competitive advantage in the marketplace. So here's what I would say to an agent, or to a loan officer, I should say. Make contact and try to be in front of agents. If it's one-on-one, do you have your value propositions in order? Ask yourself this question. Why would they want to do business with you? What is the compelling reason? And think about that deeply. Okay. I look at that every single day. I write down, Brena, almost every single morning, why would an agent want to do business with me? And I keep adding to my value proposition so I can, of course, be of higher service to the agent. So for the loan originator that's listening, ask yourself that question, be real with yourself, and then think about your customer and how you and your process can add value to their process and enhance them. Not just closing the loan on time. That doesn't mean anything. We can all do that. Not just answering the phone. We can all do that. That's par for the course. We got to go above and beyond in order to get extraordinary results. If you are comfortable with speaking in front of large groups, think about your content and delivery to keep a room going, make it fun, and make sure that it's real value driven and do it in a professional manner. So those are the ways that we're really getting in front of agents. Social media, try not to spend too much time on it. I got to tell you something, based on my discovery, they yield very little results.
No. It's very true, but to your point, a necessary evil. But then you point back to, which is so key, relationship, building that relationship connection in person. One thing that has changed over the past few years is social media. I'm glad that you called that out. I wanted to pick your brain on a lot, from technology to the world. The past few years have had many shifts, whether that's pop culturally to the way we do business. What are most critical? What are the most critical skills that you would call out right now that are key to success compared to maybe what was there in the past?
What loan originators, I think, need to constantly focus on is strengthening their presentation skills. Okay. I always say to originators that ask me, remember, every presentation is a performance. And we have to take it seriously, because the truth of the matter is that we are performers. I look at loan originators, I look at real estate agents, I look at anyone in any craft, no different than an NBA player, no different than a football player, no different than an actor or actress, etc. They just happen to choose a different field, and you can succeed at the highest level in either of them. So in loan origination, when we look at ourselves as performers, and we treat our presentations like a performance, then that means we take it seriously, which automatically separates ourselves from the competition first. Second, when we take it seriously, we understand what it is that we're saying. So you don't have to be scripted like a robot, but you want to be somewhat scripted because it keeps it more efficient, and you want to cover the points that you're going to cover. Okay. My value propositions are clear. they're concise, whether it's in a 5 minute meeting, a 15-minute meeting, a room in front of 300 for 2 hours, whatever it is. I run a very scripted process because I want to make sure that I cover the points in the most efficient manner possible. So working and strengthening your presentation is critically important. You'll find this interesting, Brenna. In my discovery with real estate agents, I've asked them, so what made you change loan originators? And a lot of the times the answer to that is bedside manner. Think about that, bedside manner. Remember, you can never go wrong being the ultimate professional. Okay? It just wins 9 times of 10. You're never going to lose being too professional. So having a strong presentation is going to help you do that. Okay?
It almost reminds you of that saying is you're never going to regret a workout. You're never going to regret being putting your best foot forward when it comes to being professional. Well, Matt, I am not surprised you were able to pack so much knowledge into the last 10 minutes of our 10-minute talk, from how the market's changed to how can you set yourself up for success in 2025. And I think that's maybe the most important call out, that there is still business to be won in 2025. It's going to take work. It's going to take some strategizing, which you have laid out so well in your points. So with that, Matt, thank you so much for joining me, and excited to see what unfolds in 2025 for you.
Oh, well, without a doubt. I greatly appreciate the opportunity.